Are you over 60 and tired of looking down at the ground when you walk? Do you catch yourself hunching forward when you sit? Does your back ache by the end of the day? If you nodded yes to any of these questions, then this video is specifically designed for you. Today, I'm going to share with you a remarkable 7-minute Japanese routine that has been helping people over 60 transform their posture in ways they never thought possible. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. When you look in the mirror from the side, what do you see? Do you see someone standing tall and confident, or do you see shoulders rolling forward, a head jutting out, and a curved back that seems to be pulling you toward the ground? If it's the latter, you're not alone. Millions of people over 60 are dealing with the same postural challenges. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. This isn't just about looking better. Poor posture after 60 can lead to chronic pain, reduced mobility, increased fall risk, breathing difficulties, and even digestive problems. The good news? What I'm about to share with you today can begin reversing these changes starting right now, today, in just 7 minutes. And the best part is that this routine is so gentle and effective that you can do it whether you're a complete beginner or someone who's been struggling with posture issues for years. Now you might be wondering, what makes this Japanese routine so special? Why Japanese? Well, in Japan, there's a beautiful concept called Kaizen, which means continuous small improvements. The Japanese understand that tiny, consistent actions performed daily can create profound transformations over time. This philosophy is deeply embedded in their approach to health and wellness, and it's exactly what we're going to apply to your posture today. You see, most Western approaches to fixing posture involve aggressive stretching, intense strengthening exercises, or expensive equipment. But the Japanese way is different. It's about working with your body's natural movement patterns, using gentle mobility exercises, coordinated breathing, and mindful alignment cues that respect the changes that naturally occur as we age. And here's what's truly exciting. This routine specifically targets the 3 main areas that cause postural problems in people over 60. First, thoracic spine stiffness, which is that rounded upper back that develops from years of sitting, driving, and looking down. Second, tight hip flexors from prolonged sitting that pull your pelvis forward and create that forward head posture. And third, weak or inactive shoulder blade muscles that allow your shoulders to roll forward and create that hunched appearance. But instead of just telling you about these problems, this 7-minute routine actually addresses each one systematically, gently, and effectively. By the end of today's session, you'll feel taller, more open through your chest, and more aligned from head to toe. And if you practice this routine daily for just 2 weeks, the changes will be so noticeable that friends and family will start commenting on how much better you look and how much more confident you appear. Now, before we begin, I want to address something important. If you're over 60, you might have been told that postural changes are just a normal part of aging, that there's nothing you can do about it, that you just have to accept looking and feeling older. This is absolutely false. While some changes do occur with age, the degree to which your posture deteriorates is largely within your control. The routine I'm about to teach you is proof of that. I also want to talk about safety because I know that many of you might be dealing with arthritis, osteoporosis, previous injuries, or other health conditions. This routine has been specifically designed with those concerns in mind. Every movement can be modified, every exercise can be done seated or standing, and everything we do is well within the safe range of motion for healthy aging adults. However, as always, if you experience any sharp pain, dizziness, or unusual symptoms, please stop immediately and consult with your healthcare provider. Let me also share something personal with you. I've been working with people over 60 for more than 15 years, and I can tell you that the transformation I see when someone improves their posture goes far beyond the physical changes. Yes, they stand taller and look younger, but more importantly, they feel more confident, they move with less pain, they breathe more easily, and they rediscover a sense of vitality that they thought was gone forever. I remember working with Margaret, a 72-year-old grandmother, who came to me because she was embarrassed about how she looked in family photos. She said she always appeared to be shrinking, that her head was always jutting forward, and that she felt like she was disappearing. After just 3 weeks of doing this 7-minute routine daily, not only did her posture transform dramatically, but she told me she felt like herself again for the first time in years. Or take Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher who was developing what he called a turtleneck, where his head was jutting so far forward that he was getting chronic headaches and neck pain. This same 7-minute routine helped him regain proper alignment and eliminate his daily headaches within a month. These aren't isolated success stories. They're representative of what happens when you consistently apply the right approach to postural correction. And that's exactly what we're going to do together today. So, what exactly are we going to do in these 7 minutes? We're going to move through 7 distinct 1-minute blocks, each targeting a specific aspect of postural improvement. We'll start with breathing and cervical alignment to establish the foundation. Then we'll move to thoracic mobility to open up that rounded upper back. Next, we'll activate your shoulder blades to pull those shoulders back where they belong. We'll follow that with hip hinge movements to improve your pelvic alignment. Then we'll address those tight hip flexors that are pulling you forward. We'll strengthen your upper back with wall exercises. And finally, we'll integrate everything with mindful walking and final alignment cues. Each minute builds upon the previous one, creating a comprehensive approach that addresses your posture from multiple angles. And here's the beautiful thing. Because each segment is only 1 minute long, it never feels overwhelming or exhausting. It's gentle, progressive, and sustainable. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. 7 minutes. That's less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. It's shorter than most commercial breaks. It's a tiny investment of time that can yield tremendous returns in how you look, feel, and move throughout your day. But here's what I need from you before we start. I need you to commit to being present for these next 7 minutes. Put away any distractions. Focus on your body. Listen to the cues I'm going to give you. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Remember, postural changes didn't happen overnight, and they won't be completely reversed in 7 minutes. But what will happen is that you'll begin the process of unwinding years of postural adaptations and start moving toward better alignment. I also want you to remember that this is not about perfection. This is about progress. Every small improvement in your posture is meaningful. Every degree that you can extend your spine is valuable. Every millimeter that you can retract your shoulders is significant. We're not trying to turn back the clock 30 years. We're trying to optimize how you look, feel, and function right now at your current age and stage of life. Before we begin the routine itself, let's do a quick posture assessment so you can feel the difference this routine makes. I want you to stand up if you're able to, or sit up as tall as you can if you're seated. Notice how your body naturally aligns itself. Where is your head? Are your shoulders level? How does your upper back feel? Is there tension anywhere? How deep are you breathing? Just take a mental note of these sensations because we're going to check back in after our 7 minutes. If you can, I'd also like you to imagine a straight line running from your ear through your shoulder, through your hip, and down to your ankle. In perfect alignment, these 4 points should be stacked on top of each other. Most likely, if you're over 60 and dealing with postural issues, your ear is probably forward of your shoulders are forward of your hips, and the whole system is out of alignment. That's exactly what we're going to start addressing today. Now let's talk about breathing for just a moment, because proper breathing is the foundation of good posture, and good posture is the foundation of proper breathing. They're intimately connected. When your posture is poor, with rounded shoulders and a forward head, your rib cage gets compressed, your diaphragm can't function optimally, and your breathing becomes shallow and inefficient. Conversely, when you breathe properly, it naturally encourages better spinal alignment and postural awareness. Throughout our 7-minute routine, I'm going to be cueing you to coordinate your breathing with your movements. This isn't just for relaxation, although it is relaxing. It's because proper breathing patterns actually help facilitate the postural changes we're working toward. When you breathe deeply and fully, you automatically engage your deep core muscles, you encourage spinal elongation, and you create the internal pressure and stability needed for optimal alignment. You'll also notice that this routine incorporates principles of what the Japanese call mindful movement. This means we're not just going through the motions. We're paying attention to how our body feels. We're moving with intention. And we're creating awareness of proper alignment that will carry over into your daily activities. This mind-body connection is crucial for lasting postural change. You can do all the right exercises, but if you're not developing awareness of what good posture feels like, you'll default back to your old patterns the moment you stop thinking about it. By incorporating mindfulness into our movement practice, we're training not just your muscles, but also your nervous system to recognize and maintain better alignment. Another key principle we'll be using is what I call gentle progression. Unlike aggressive stretching or intense strengthening routines that might leave you sore or discouraged, every movement in this routine is designed to meet your body where it is right now and gently encourage improvement. We're not forcing anything. We're not pushing through pain. We're simply creating the conditions for your body to naturally move toward better alignment. This approach is particularly important for people over 60 because your tissues may not be as resilient as they once were. Your joints may have some wear and tear, and your nervous system may take a bit longer to adapt to new movement patterns. By working gently and progressively, we respect these realities while still creating meaningful change. I also want to mention that this routine is designed to be done daily. Not because you need to exercise every day, but because postural awareness and alignment are skills that need to be practiced consistently. Just like learning to play an instrument or speak a new language, the more frequently you practice good postural habits, the more natural they become. Think of this 7-minute routine as a daily reset button for your posture. Throughout the day, gravity pulls on you. Your habits pull you into less than optimal positions, and stress creates tension that affects your alignment. This routine gives you a systematic way to counteract these forces and return to better posture every single day. Now, you might be wondering why this particular sequence of exercises is so effective. Let me break down the science behind what we're about to do. First, we start with breathing and cervical alignment because your head position influences everything below it. When your head is properly positioned, it's much easier for your shoulders, spine, and pelvis to find their optimal alignment. Next, we work on thoracic mobility because the thoracic spine, or mid-back, is where most postural problems originate in people over 60. Years of sitting, driving, computer work, and looking down at phones create stiffness in this area that literally pulls your shoulders forward and rounds your upper back. By restoring mobility to this area, we create the foundation for better overall posture. Then, we activate the muscles between your shoulder blades. These muscles, particularly the middle trapezius and rhomboids, are often weak and underactive in people with forward head posture. By waking them up and strengthening them, we create the muscular support needed to hold your shoulders in their proper position. The hip hinge movement we'll do next is crucial because many postural problems actually originate from the pelvis. When your hip flexors are tight from prolonged sitting, they tilt your pelvis forward, which compensatorily rounds your upper back and juts your head forward. By teaching your hips to hinge properly, we address posture from the ground up. We specifically target the hip flexors next because these muscles, located at the front of your hips, are chronically tight in most people over 60. When these muscles are tight, they create a chain reaction that affects your entire posture. Releasing them is often the key to standing taller and reducing lower back pain. The wall exercises we'll do are designed to strengthen your upper back while simultaneously stretching your chest muscles. This combination is essential because most people with postural problems have tight chest muscles and weak back muscles. You can't just stretch one or strengthen the other. You need to address both simultaneously for lasting change. Finally, we end with integrated movement and alignment cues because the goal isn't just to have good posture during our exercise routine. It's to carry better alignment into your daily activities. The walking pattern and final breathing sequence help bridge the gap between our focused practice time and real-world movement. One thing I want to emphasize before we start is that you may not feel dramatic changes after just one session, and that's completely normal. Postural change is a process, not an event. However, many people do report feeling taller, more open through their chest, and more aware of their alignment even after the first time through this routine. The real magic happens with consistency. When you do this routine daily, you begin to retrain your nervous system, your muscles begin to adapt, and your tissue quality starts to improve. Most people notice significant changes within 2 to 3 weeks of daily practice. I also want to address modifications because I know that not everyone watching this will have the same physical capabilities or limitations. Every single exercise in this routine can be modified. If you can't stand, you can do everything seated. If you have shoulder problems, we can adjust the range of motion. If you have balance issues, you can use a wall or chair for support. The key is to work within your current abilities while gently challenging yourself to improve. Remember, this isn't about comparing yourself to anyone else or trying to achieve some idealized version of perfect posture. This is about optimizing your own posture, reducing your own discomfort, and improving your own quality of life. Every person's body is different, every person's history is different, and every person's goals are different. What I can promise you is that if you approach this routine with consistency, patience, and a willingness to pay attention to your body, you will see improvements. You'll stand taller, you'll feel more confident, you'll have less pain, and you'll move with greater ease and grace. I've seen it happen hundreds of times with people just like you. People who thought their postural problems were permanent. People who had resigned themselves to looking and feeling older than their years. People who believed that nothing could be done. This routine has helped all of them, and I believe it can help you too. So, are you ready to transform your posture in just 7 minutes? Are you ready to stand taller, feel more confident, and move with less pain? Are you ready to discover what your body is still capable of, even after 60? Let's begin our 7-minute journey to better posture. Find a comfortable standing position, or if you need to remain seated, sit toward the front edge of your chair with your feet flat on the floor. Take a deep breath, and let's start with Minute 1. Minute 1. Foundation breathing and cervical alignment. Welcome to Minute 1 of our postural transformation. This first minute is all about creating the foundation for everything that follows. We're going to focus on 2 things: establishing proper breathing patterns and finding optimal alignment for your head and neck. Let's start by finding your natural breathing rhythm. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, just below your ribcage. As you breathe naturally, notice which hand moves more. If the hand on your chest is moving more than the hand on your belly, that's okay, but we're going to work on shifting that pattern. Now, I want you to take a slow breath in through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel that bottom hand gently rising as your belly expands. This isn't about forcing your belly out. It's about allowing your diaphragm to descend naturally, which creates space for your lungs to fill completely. Now exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel that bottom hand gently falling as your belly draws inward. This longer exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps relax muscle tension that may be contributing to poor posture. Let's continue with this breathing pattern while we work on head and neck alignment. Keep breathing in for 4 counts through your nose, out for 6 counts through your mouth. Now while you're breathing, I want you to imagine a golden string attached to the very top of your head, at the crown. Imagine this string is gently pulling you upward, creating length through your entire spine. You're not forcing yourself into an unnatural position. You're simply allowing your spine to decompress and elongate. As this imaginary string pulls you up, let your chin come back slightly. Not down, but back, as if you're creating a subtle double chin. This movement is called cervical retraction, and it's the opposite of the forward head posture that's so common in people over 60. When your head is properly positioned over your shoulders, rather than jutting forward, it dramatically reduces strain on your neck muscles and improves your overall spinal alignment. Continue breathing deeply as you maintain this gentle upward growth through the crown of your head and this subtle backward movement of your chin. Your ears should be moving toward alignment over the middle of your shoulders, rather than forward of them. Notice how this position affects your breathing. When your head is properly aligned, Your airway opens up, your rib cage can expand more fully, and breathing becomes easier and more efficient. This is one of the immediate benefits of better posture that many people notice right away. Now, while maintaining this head position and deep breathing, gently release any tension in your shoulders. Let them soften and settle into a neutral position. Don't force them down. Just allow them to find their natural resting place when you're not holding stress and tension. Feel your rib cage settling down over your pelvis. Sometimes when people try to improve their posture, they arch their back excessively or thrust their rib cage forward. We don't want that. We want your rib cage to be stacked neutrally over your pelvis, creating a long, elegant line through your torso. Continue with your breathing pattern. In for 4, out for 6. In for 4, out for 6. With each breath, feel yourself growing taller through the crown of your head while staying grounded through your feet if you're standing, or through your sitting bones if you're seated. This type of breathing not only helps with relaxation and postural awareness, but it also begins to activate your deep core muscles, which are essential for maintaining good posture throughout the day. When your deep core muscles are working properly, they provide internal support for your spine, making it easier to maintain good alignment without excessive effort. As we come to the end of minute 1, take a moment to notice how your body feels. Has your breathing deepened? Do you feel taller? Is there less tension in your neck and shoulders? These are all signs that we're moving in the right direction. Remember the sensations you're experiencing right now, because this is what good alignment should feel like. It shouldn't be forced or uncomfortable. It should feel natural, elongated, and sustainable. This is the foundation we'll build upon in the next 6 minutes. Minute 2, thoracic mobility, the opening and closing pattern. Welcome to minute 2. Now that we've established our foundation with proper breathing and head alignment, we're going to address one of the most common postural problems in people over 60, thoracic spine stiffness. The thoracic spine is your mid-back, the area between your shoulder blades, and it's where most of that rounded, hunched posture originates. For this minute, we're going to use a gentle movement pattern that I call opening and closing. This movement specifically targets the thoracic spine while maintaining the good breathing patterns and head alignment we just established. Let's begin. Maintain that sense of growing tall through the crown of your head and keep your chin gently retracted. Now, I want you to bring your arms in front of you as if you're giving yourself a gentle hug. Cross your arms over your chest, letting your hands rest on the opposite shoulders. This is our closing position. As you move into this position, you'll naturally feel a gentle rounding through your upper back and a stretch between your shoulder blades. This isn't the harmful kind of rounding we're trying to correct. This is therapeutic rounding that helps mobilize the thoracic spine. The key difference is that we're doing it intentionally and temporarily, rather than getting stuck in this position all day. Now, breathe in as you're in this closed position. Feel the expansion in your back ribs, the gentle stretch between your shoulder blades. Hold this for just a moment. Now comes the opening phase. As you exhale, slowly open your arms wide, turning your palms to face forward, and gently extend through your thoracic spine. Think about opening your chest like a book, creating space between your shoulder blades, and lifting gently through your breastbone. This is where the magic happens. As you open, focus on the movement coming from your mid-back, not from your lower back. We don't want to arch your lumbar spine excessively. We want to create extension specifically in that thoracic region where you've likely lost mobility over the years. Let's continue this pattern. Breathe in as you close, crossing your arms over your chest and allowing gentle flexion through your thoracic spine. Feel that therapeutic stretch between your shoulder blades. Breathe out as you open, extending your arms wide and creating gentle extension through your mid-back. The coordination of breathing with movement is crucial here. When you breathe in during the closing phase, you're creating space for the thoracic spine to flex safely. When you breathe out during the opening phase, you're using your exhale to help stabilize your core and control the extension movement. This is very different from the way most people try to improve their posture. Instead of just pulling your shoulders back and trying to force an upright position, we're actually restoring mobility to the area that needs to move. When your thoracic spine can flex and extend properly, good posture becomes much more natural and sustainable. As you continue this opening and closing pattern, pay attention to any areas of stiffness or restriction. Don't force anything. Just gently work within your current range of motion. With each repetition, you may find that you can open a little more, extend a little further, but never push to the point of pain or discomfort. If you're seated, make sure you're sitting toward the front of your chair so your back doesn't get trapped against the backrest. If you're standing and finding it difficult to maintain balance during this movement, you can do this exercise with your back gently touching a wall for support. Notice how this movement affects your breathing. Many people find that after several repetitions of this opening and closing pattern, they can take deeper breaths more easily. This happens because we're creating more mobility in the rib cage and thoracic spine, which allows the lungs to expand more fully. Also pay attention to how your head and neck feel. Sometimes when people have been stuck in a forward head posture for a long time, their neck muscles become chronically tense trying to hold the head up against gravity. As we improve thoracic mobility and alignment, the neck muscles often begin to relax naturally. Continue with this pattern for the remainder of minute 2. In as you close, out as you open. In as you hug yourself gently. Out as you spread your arms wide and lift through your chest. Each repetition should feel smooth and controlled, never forced or aggressive. If at any point you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or experience any sharp pain, please stop and return to simple, natural breathing. The movements we're doing should feel good, like a gentle stretch and mobilization, not painful or uncomfortable. As we approach the end of minute 2, I want you to finish in the open position. Arms wide, chest open, gentle extension through your thoracic spine, and that sense of growing tall through the crown of your head that we established in minute 1. Notice how your posture feels now compared to when we started. Do you feel more open through your chest? Is there more space between your shoulder blades? Does your breathing feel easier and deeper? These changes may be subtle, but they're significant. You've just begun to restore mobility to an area of your spine that may have been stiff for years. Minute 3, scapular activation, waking up your shoulder blades. Welcome to minute 3. Now that we've established good breathing patterns and begun to restore mobility to your thoracic spine, it's time to wake up some muscles that have probably been sleeping on the job for quite a while. We're going to focus on your scapulae or shoulder blades and the muscles that control them. In people over 60 with forward head posture and rounded shoulders, the muscles between the shoulder blades often become weak and inactive. Meanwhile, the muscles in the front of the chest become tight and overactive. This imbalance is a major contributor to poor posture, and it's exactly what we're going to address in this minute. Let's start with a movement that will help you reconnect with your shoulder blade muscles. Begin by maintaining that tall, elongated spine we've been working on. Your head should still be in good alignment, with your ears over your shoulders and your chin gently retracted. Now, let your arms hang naturally at your sides if you're standing, or rest them on your thighs if you're seated. We're going to start with what I call shoulder blade circles, but we're going to do them in a very specific, controlled way. First, slowly lift your shoulders straight up toward your ears. Don't rush this movement. Take about 3 seconds to lift them as high as you comfortably can. Feel the muscles at the top of your shoulders, your upper trapezius muscles, engaging to create this lift. Now, pull your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you. Imagine you're trying to hold a pencil between your shoulder blades. As you pull back, you should feel muscles that may not have worked hard in a long time starting to activate. These are your middle trapezius and rhomboid muscles, and they're crucial for good posture. Next, press your shoulders down, away from your ears. This engages your lower trapezius muscles, which helps stabilize your shoulder blades in their proper position. You should feel a sense of your shoulder blades settling into a stable, supported position on your back. Finally, let your shoulders come forward to complete the circle, but don't stay in this forward position. This is just a transition back to the beginning of the movement. Let's repeat this pattern several times. Up, back, down, forward. Up, back, down, forward. Move slowly and deliberately, really focusing on feeling each muscle group as it engages. Now, let's reverse the direction. Shoulders forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Again, move slowly and with control. You're not just moving your shoulders. You're retraining your nervous system to be aware of these muscles and how to activate them. After several circles in each direction, let's focus specifically on the most important part of this movement for postural improvement, the retraction and depression. This means pulling your shoulder blades together and down. From a neutral position, slowly pull your shoulder blades together behind you. Imagine you're trying to touch them together, though they won't actually touch. Hold this position for about 3 seconds, really focusing on feeling those muscles between your shoulder blades working. Now, while keeping them pulled together, press them down away from your ears. This combines retraction with depression, and it's the position your shoulder blades need to be in for optimal posture. Hold this combined position for 3 seconds. Now release slowly and return to neutral. Let's repeat this several more times. Pull back and hold. Pull back and down and hold. Release slowly. Pull back and hold. Pull back and down and hold. Release slowly. You may find that these muscles fatigue quickly, especially if they haven't been working properly for a long time. That's completely normal. Don't push through significant fatigue. Just work within your current capabilities and know that these muscles will strengthen over time with consistent practice. If you're having trouble feeling these muscles work, try this modification. Place your hands on a wall in front of you at shoulder height, about arm's length away. Now, keeping your arms straight, push gently into the wall and focus on pulling your shoulder blades together behind you. This gives you something to push against, which makes it easier to feel the muscles activating. Another helpful cue is to imagine someone is asking you to show off your back muscles. What would you naturally do? You'd pull your shoulders back and create that proud, upright posture. That's exactly the muscle activation pattern we're looking for. As you continue working on these shoulder blade movements, maintain awareness of everything we've established in the previous minutes. Keep breathing deeply and rhythmically. Maintain that sense of growing tall through the crown of your head. Keep your chin gently retracted so your ears stay over your shoulders. This integration is important because in real life, you don't want to have to think about each postural element separately. You want them all to work together naturally. By practicing them together now, you're training your body to maintain this integrated good posture automatically. Let's start by understanding what a hip hinge is and why it's so important. A hip hinge involves moving your hips backward while keeping your spine in neutral alignment. This is different from bending forward at your waist, which rounds your back. The hip hinge maintains spinal alignment while stretching the back of your legs and strengthening your posterior chain muscles. If you're standing, place your feet about hip width apart with a slight bend in your knees. If you're seated, sit toward the front of your chair with your feet flat on the floor. We'll modify the movement for seated practice. Let's start with the standing version. Place your hands on your thighs, just above your knees. This will help you maintain proper spine alignment during the movement. Remember to keep that tall posture we've been working on. Crown of the head reaching up, chin gently retracted, shoulders back and down. Now here's the key to the hip hinge. Imagine that someone is standing behind you with a rope tied around your waist, and they're gently pulling your hips straight back. Your hips move back, but your spine stays long and straight. Your chest stays proud and open, your shoulders stay back, and your head stays in alignment. As your hips move back, you'll naturally begin to lean forward from your hips, not from your waist. Your hands will slide down your thighs toward your knees, but this sliding is happening because you're hinging at your hips, not because you're rounding your back. Go only as far as feels comfortable. For some people, this might be just a few inches. For others, you might be able to hinge quite a bit further. The key is maintaining that long, straight spine throughout the entire movement. If your back starts to round, you've gone too far. Once you've hinged back as far as you comfortably can while maintaining good spinal alignment, pause for a moment. You should feel a gentle stretch in the back of your legs, your hamstrings, and glutes. This is therapeutic stretching that helps counteract the effects of prolonged sitting. Now, to return to the starting position, think about driving your hips forward. Push the floor away with your feet, engage your glutes, and return your hips to their starting position directly under your shoulders. As you do this, your torso will naturally return to vertical, and your hands will slide back up your thighs. Let's practice this several times. Hips back, maintaining that long spine, feeling the stretch in the back of your legs. Then drive your hips forward to return to standing. Hips back, spine long, chest proud. Hips forward to return. Coordinate this movement with your breathing. Breathe in as you hinge back, and breathe out as you return to standing. The exhale helps you engage your core muscles, which provide stability and support for your spine during the movement. If you're doing the seated version, the movement is similar but modified. Sit toward the front of your chair and place your hands on your thighs. Hinge forward from your hips, maintaining that long, straight spine. Your chest stays open, your shoulders stay back, and you're folding forward from your hips, not rounding your back. This seated hip hinge is excellent for people who spend a lot of time sitting because it counteracts the hip flexor tightness and postural adaptations that develop from prolonged sitting. The hip hinge movement is so beneficial for posture because it does several things simultaneously. First, it stretches your posterior chain muscles, which often become tight from sitting and can pull your pelvis into poor alignment. Second, it strengthens your glutes and hamstrings, which are important for maintaining proper pelvic position. Third, it teaches you how to move from your hips rather than your spine, which is a fundamental movement pattern for good posture and back health. Many people over 60 have lost the ability to hinge properly at their hips. Instead, when they need to lean forward, they round their spine, which puts tremendous pressure on the vertebrae and discs. By relearning how to hinge at the hips, you're protecting your spine and improving your overall movement quality. As you continue practicing this movement, focus on the feeling of your hips moving independently from your spine. Your spine should feel stable and supported while your hips do the moving. This separation between hip movement and spinal movement is crucial for both good posture and safe movement patterns. Also pay attention to how this movement affects your awareness of your pelvis and lower back. Many people with postural problems have poor awareness of their pelvic position. The hip hinge movement helps you develop better sense of where your pelvis is in space and how it should be positioned for optimal alignment. If you find the hip hinge challenging, don't worry. This is a movement pattern that improves quickly with practice. Start with small ranges of motion and focus on maintaining that long, straight spine rather than trying to hinge very far. As your hip mobility improves and your movement pattern becomes more natural, you'll be able to hinge further while maintaining perfect spinal alignment. You might also notice that as you practice the hip hinge, your hamstrings feel tight. This is very common in people over 60, especially those who sit frequently. The gentle stretching that occurs during the hip hinge movement will gradually improve this flexibility, but don't force it. Let the improvement happen naturally over time. Another benefit of the hip hinge that many people don't realize is that it helps improve your balance and stability. When you can hinge at your hips properly, you maintain better control over your center of gravity. This translates to more confident movement in daily activities and reduced fall risk. As we approach the end of minute 4, let's finish with one final hip hinge. Take your time, focus on the quality of the movement, and really feel the difference between moving from your hips versus rounding your spine. Hips back, spine long, chest open. Feel that gentle stretch in the back of your legs. Now drive those hips forward and return to your tall, aligned standing position. Notice how your pelvis feels now. Does it feel more settled and stable? Do you have better awareness of your pelvic position? These subtle changes in pelvic awareness and positioning have a profound impact on your overall posture. Minute 5. Hip flexor release. The static lunge with support. Welcome to Minute 5. We're now going to address one of the most common and problematic tight spots in people over 60, the hip flexors. These muscles, located at the front of your hips, connect your thighs to your pelvis and lower spine. When they're tight, which they are in most people who sit frequently, they create a chain reaction that pulls your entire posture out of alignment. Think about what happens when you sit. Your hips are bent, your hip flexors are in a shortened position, and over time, they adapt to this shortened length. When you try to stand up straight, these tight hip flexors pull on your pelvis, tilting it forward. To compensate for this forward pelvic tilt, your lower back arches excessively, your rib cage juts forward, your shoulders round, and your head moves forward. It's a whole body compensation pattern that starts with tight hip flexors. The good news is that we can address this with a gentle, supported stretching position that's safe and effective for people over 60. We're going to use what I call a static lunge with support. This isn't the dynamic lunge you might see younger people doing at the gym. This is a gentle, sustained stretch that specifically targets the hip flexors. For this exercise, you'll want to have something stable to hold onto for support. This could be the back of a sturdy chair, a wall, a kitchen counter, or any other stable surface. Safety is our top priority, and having support allows you to focus on the stretch without worrying about balance. Let's start by positioning ourselves next to your support structure. If you're using a chair, stand beside it with one hand resting lightly on the back of the chair. If you're using a wall, stand arm's length away with one hand touching the wall for balance. Now, we're going to create our lunge position. Take a step forward with your right foot, about 2 to 3 feet in front of your left foot. Your right foot should be flat on the ground, and your left foot can be on the ball of the foot or flat, whatever feels most stable for you. Here's the key to making this stretch effective. Think about gently moving your pelvis forward over your front leg while keeping your back leg relatively straight. You're not trying to lunge down toward the ground. You're trying to move forward to create a stretch in the front of your back hip. As you gently shift your weight forward, you should begin to feel a stretch in the front of your left hip, where your hip flexor muscles are located. This stretch should feel good, like a gentle, releasing sensation. If you feel any sharp pain or discomfort, back off immediately. The beauty of this static approach is that you can find your comfortable stretch position and then hold it, allowing your muscles time to relax and lengthen. Dynamic stretching has its place, but for tight hip flexors in people over 60, this gentle, sustained approach is often more effective and certainly safer. While you're holding this position, focus on your breathing. Take slow, deep breaths, and with each exhale, see if you can relax a little more into the stretch. Often, the initial feeling of tightness will begin to release as you breathe and allow your muscles to relax. Also pay attention to your posture while you're stretching. It's easy to let your back arch excessively or your shoulders round forward when you're focusing on the stretch. Try to maintain that tall, aligned posture we've been working on throughout this routine. Crown of the head reaching up, shoulders back and down, chest open. Hold this position for about 15 seconds, breathing deeply and allowing the stretch to develop gradually. Remember, we're not trying to force anything. We're simply creating the conditions for your hip flexors to begin to release and lengthen. After 15 seconds, carefully return to your starting position and switch sides. Step forward with your left foot now, keeping your right foot back. Again, use your support for balance and safety. Gently shift your weight forward until you feel that comfortable stretch in the front of your right hip. This second side might feel different from the first. It's very common for people to have asymmetries in their hip flexor tightness, especially if they tend to favor one side when sitting or if they've had any previous injuries. Don't worry about making both sides exactly the same. Just work with what each side gives you. Continue breathing deeply as you hold this stretch. Some people find it helpful to think about lengthening through the front of their hip, imagining the tight muscles gradually releasing and allowing for better pelvic alignment. If you're finding it difficult to feel the stretch, try this modification. Once you're in the lunge position, gently tuck your pelvis under slightly. This posterior pelvic tilt can help intensify the hip flexor stretch. Think about tilting your tailbone down toward the ground while keeping your chest open and tall. Another way to enhance this stretch is to think about gently pressing your back hip forward while maintaining your upright posture. You're not collapsing forward over your front leg. You're moving your pelvis forward to create more stretch in the hip flexor of your back leg. As you hold this second stretch, pay attention to how it affects the rest of your body. Some people notice that as their hip flexors begin to release, their lower back feels less arched and more comfortable. Others notice that their breathing becomes easier as their ribcage finds a more neutral position. These whole body effects highlight why addressing hip flexor tightness is so important for overall postural improvement. When your hip flexors are functioning properly and aren't excessively tight, it's much easier for your pelvis to maintain a neutral position, which makes it easier for your entire spine to align properly. After about 15 seconds on the second side, carefully return to a neutral standing position. Take a moment to notice how your hips and pelvis feel. Do they feel more settled? Is there less tension in your lower back? Do you feel like you can stand taller more easily? If you found the standing lunge challenging or if balance is a concern, you can also stretch your hip flexors while seated. Sit toward the front of your chair and extend one leg back behind you, keeping the ball of your foot on the ground. Gently press your hip forward to create the stretch in the front of your extended hip. The seated version provides more stability and support, making it a good option for people with balance concerns or those who are more comfortable remaining seated throughout the routine. As we finish minute 5, I want you to take a moment to appreciate what you've just accomplished. You've addressed one of the primary drivers of poor posture in people over 60. By working to release your hip flexors, you've taken a significant step toward allowing your pelvis to find a more neutral position, which supports better alignment throughout your entire spine. The effects of hip flexor stretching are often cumulative, meaning you may not feel dramatic changes immediately, but with consistent daily practice, you'll likely notice that standing tall becomes easier and more natural. Your lower back may feel less compressed, your breathing may improve, and your overall sense of alignment and stability will enhance. Minute 6. Wall angels, upper back strengthening and chest opening. Welcome to Minute 6. We're now going to combine strengthening for your upper back muscles with stretching for your chest muscles using an exercise called wall angels. This exercise is incredibly effective for people over 60 because it addresses both sides of the postural equation. It strengthens the weak muscles that should be holding your shoulders back while simultaneously stretching the tight muscles that are pulling your shoulders forward. For this exercise, you'll need access to a wall. If you don't have wall space available, don't worry. I'll give you a seated modification that works just as well. The wall version is ideal because it provides support and feedback, helping you maintain proper alignment throughout the exercise. Let's start by positioning yourself against the wall. Stand with your back against the wall, with your feet about 6 inches away from the base of the wall. This slight forward position of your feet allows your lower back to maintain its natural curve while still getting the benefits of the wall support. Now, gently lean back so that 3 points of contact touch the wall: the back of your head, your upper back between your shoulder blades, and your glutes. Don't force these contact points, just allow them to rest comfortably against the wall. If you can't get all 3 points to touch comfortably, that's okay. Work with whatever contact you can achieve without strain. Once you're positioned against the wall, raise your arms up and place them against the wall in what we call the goal post position. Your upper arms should be roughly parallel to the floor, and your forearms should be vertical, creating roughly 90-degree angles at your shoulders and elbows. The goal is to keep as much of your arms in contact with the wall as possible throughout the movement. This includes your upper arms, your forearms, and the backs of your hands if you can manage it. Don't worry if you can't achieve full contact initially. This is something that improves with practice as your chest muscles lengthen and your upper back muscles strengthen. Now, here's the movement pattern we're going to use. Keeping your arms in contact with the wall, slowly slide your arms up the wall, reaching toward a Y position overhead. Move slowly and maintain as much wall contact as possible. You should feel your shoulder blade muscles working to hold your arms against the wall, and you should feel a gentle stretch across your chest as your arms move up. Go only as high as you can while maintaining wall contact, and without experiencing pain or discomfort. For some people, this might be just a few inches above the starting position. For others, you might be able to reach quite a bit higher. Work within your current range of motion. Once you've reached your comfortable end range, slowly lower your arms back down to the starting position, again maintaining wall contact throughout the movement. This lowering phase is just as important as the lifting phase because it's working your muscles in what's called an eccentric contraction, which is particularly effective for building strength. Let's repeat this pattern several times. Up into the Y position, maintaining wall contact, feeling those upper back muscles work. Down to the goal post position, controlling the movement and maintaining contact with the wall throughout. As you perform this exercise, pay attention to several things. First, notice how your upper back muscles feel. These muscles, particularly your middle and lower trapezius and your rhomboids, may not have worked this hard in quite some time. It's normal for them to fatigue relatively quickly, especially if they've been weak and underactive. Second, notice the stretch you feel across your chest. This is your pectoral muscles lengthening, which is exactly what we want. Tight chest muscles are a major contributor to forward shoulder posture, and this exercise addresses that tightness while simultaneously strengthening the opposing muscles. Third, pay attention to how this exercise affects your overall posture awareness. Many people find that wall angels help them understand what proper shoulder and upper back alignment should feel like. The wall provides immediate feedback, letting you know when you're maintaining good position and when you're starting to lose it. If you're unable to stand or don't have access to a wall, you can do this exercise seated using what we call the YWT pattern. Sit tall in your chair with your feet flat on the floor. Start with your arms in the W position, elbows bent, upper arms roughly parallel to the floor, hands up near shoulder height. From this W position, extend your arms up and out into a Y shape, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you move. Then lower back down to the W. Next, extend your arms straight out to the sides in a T shape, again focusing on squeezing your shoulder blades together. Return to the W position between each movement. Whether you're doing the wall version or the seated version, the key is to focus on the muscles between your shoulder blades. These muscles should be doing the work, not your neck muscles or your shoulder muscles. If you feel strain in your neck, you're probably trying too hard or moving too quickly. The breathing pattern for this exercise is important. Exhale as you move your arms up or out, using your breath to help stabilize your core and engage the working muscles. Inhale as you return to the starting position, allowing your muscles to relax slightly before the next repetition. As you continue with the wall angels, you may notice that it becomes easier to maintain wall contact, or you may find that you can reach a little higher than when you started. These are signs that your muscles are responding to the exercise and beginning to adapt. Don't be discouraged if this exercise feels challenging at first. Remember, we're working muscles that may have been underactive for years, and we're stretching tissues that may have been tight for just as long. Improvement comes with consistency, not perfection in a single session. The wall angels exercise is particularly valuable because it mimics the kind of upper body positioning we want to maintain throughout the day. When you can perform wall angels with good form and adequate range of motion, it becomes much easier to maintain proper shoulder and upper back positioning during your daily activities. As we approach the end of minute 6, let's finish with your arms in that strong, open goal post position against the wall, or in the W position if you're seated. Feel the engagement through your upper back muscles. Notice the openness across your chest. Sense the stability and support this position provides for your shoulders and neck. Take a moment to compare how your upper body feels now to how it felt when we started this routine. Do you feel stronger through your upper back? Do you feel more open across your chest? Do your shoulders feel more settled and supported in their proper position? These improvements in how your upper body feels and functions are key components of better overall posture. Minute 7. Mindful walking and final integration. Welcome to our final minute, minute 7. This is where we integrate everything we've been working on into functional movement. We're going to practice mindful walking, which helps bridge the gap between our focused exercise time and real-world movement. The goal is to carry the postural improvements we've been working on into actual walking, which is one of the most common daily activities. But before we start walking, let's take a moment to appreciate how far you've come in just 6 minutes. You've established better breathing patterns, improved the mobility of your thoracic spine, activated the muscles that support your shoulder blades, learned to move properly from your hips, addressed tight hip flexors, and strengthened your upper back while opening your chest. That's a tremendous amount of positive change in a very short time. Now we're going to learn to walk with awareness, integrating all of these elements into smooth, coordinated movement. If you have space to take several steps, that's ideal. If space is limited, we can do this exercise by marching in place or even by doing weight shifts while standing. Let's begin by finding our optimal standing alignment, incorporating everything we've learned. Crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling, chin gently retracted so your ears are over your shoulders. Shoulders pulled gently back and down, activating those muscles between your shoulder blades. Chest open but not thrust forward. Rib cage sitting naturally over your pelvis. Hips in neutral alignment, not tilted too far forward or back. Knees soft, not locked. Feet parallel and about hip width apart. Take a moment to feel this aligned position. This is your postural home base, the position you want to return to throughout your day. Notice how it feels different from when we started. Notice how much taller you feel, how much more open through your chest, how much more stable and grounded. Now, maintaining this alignment as best you can, we're going to begin walking. If you're walking forward, start with a small step, focusing on maintaining your tall, aligned posture as you move. If you're marching in place, lift one knee gently while keeping your standing leg strong and your torso aligned. As you walk or march, focus on several key elements. First, keep your eyes looking ahead at the horizon level, not down at the ground. When you look down while walking, it immediately pulls your head forward and disrupts all the alignment we've been working on. Looking ahead naturally encourages that tall, confident posture. Second, maintain awareness of your shoulder blade position. As you move your arms naturally with your walking rhythm, keep feeling those muscles between your shoulder blades that we activated in minute 3. Your shoulders should feel stable and supported, not rolling forward with each step. Third, think about walking from your core. Each step should feel grounded and controlled, not like you're falling forward and catching yourself. This comes from maintaining that sense of length through your spine and stability through your deep core muscles that we established with our breathing work. As you continue walking or marching, coordinate your movement with your breath. This doesn't mean you need to match each step to each breath, but rather maintain that deep rhythmic breathing pattern we established in minute 1. When you breathe well while moving, it supports your posture and helps you maintain the alignment we've been working on. If you're walking forward and have the space, practice what I call horizon walking. Pick a point straight ahead at eye level and walk toward it, maintaining your tall posture and keeping your gaze at that horizon point. This simple technique alone can dramatically improve your walking posture. Pay attention to how your hips feel as you walk. Remember the hip hinge movement we practiced in minute 4. Your hips should feel mobile and stable, able to move freely while supporting your upright posture. If you feel like you're walking stiffly or with restricted hip movement, slow down and focus on allowing your hips to move naturally. Also notice your foot placement as you walk. Your feet should land roughly parallel to each other, not turned out like a duck or turned in pigeon-toed. Your weight should transfer smoothly from heel to toe with each step, creating a rolling motion through your foot. If you're marching in place, focus on lifting your knees to a comfortable height while maintaining perfect postural alignment. This stationary marching is actually more challenging for postural control than walking forward because you don't have forward momentum to help you. It's an excellent way to practice maintaining alignment while moving. As we continue through this final minute, I want you to imagine that you're walking with supreme confidence. Picture yourself walking into a room where you want to make a positive impression. How would you carry yourself? You'd naturally stand taller, walk with purpose, and project confidence through your posture. That's exactly the kind of posture and movement quality we're cultivating with this routine. This mindful walking also helps you understand how all the individual elements we've worked on integrate into functional movement. Good posture isn't about holding yourself rigidly in one position. It's about maintaining optimal alignment while moving freely and naturally. Many people over 60 develop what I call cautious walking, where they look down, shuffle their feet, and move tentatively. While it's important to be safe and aware of your surroundings, you can maintain safety while also walking with confidence and good posture. In fact, better posture often improves balance and stability, making walking safer overall. As we approach the end of our 7 minutes together, let's finish with what I call the posture reset. Come to a comfortable standing position, whether you've been walking or marching in place. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or soften your gaze if you prefer to keep your eyes open. Take 3 deep, intentional breaths, just like we did in minute 1. With each breath, feel yourself settling into that tall, aligned posture. Crown of the head reaching up, shoulders settling back and down, chest open, spine long, pelvis neutral, feet grounded. On your first breath, focus on your head and neck alignment. Feel your head balancing effortlessly on top of your spine. On your second breath, focus on your shoulders and upper back. Feel the stability and openness through your chest and upper body. On your third breath, focus on your entire body as an integrated unit. Feel how all the parts work together to create this sense of height, openness, stability, and grace. Open your eyes and take a moment to notice how you feel. How does your posture feel now compared to when we started 7 minutes ago? Do you feel taller, more open, more confident, more aligned? These changes you're feeling are not just temporary. They're the beginning of a transformation that will deepen and become more permanent with daily practice. Your body has just remembered what good posture feels like, and with consistent practice, this will become your new normal. Conclusion and moving forward. Congratulations! You've just completed 7 minutes that can truly change how you look, feel, and move for the rest of your life. What you've experienced today is not just a series of exercises. It's a systematic approach to reclaiming the confident, upright posture that may have been gradually slipping away over the years. Let's take a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished in these 7 short minutes. You've re-established proper breathing patterns that support postural awareness and core stability. You've restored mobility to your thoracic spine, the area that's most commonly restricted in people with forward head posture. You've awakened and strengthened the muscles between your shoulder blades that are crucial for holding your shoulders in their proper position. You've learned to move properly from your hips, which protects your spine and improves your overall movement quality. You've begun to address the tight hip flexors that pull your entire posture out of alignment. You've strengthened your upper back while stretching your chest, addressing both sides of the postural imbalance that's so common in our modern world. And finally, you've learned to integrate all of these elements into functional movement through mindful walking. But here's what I want you to understand. This is just the beginning. The changes you feel right now are like a preview of what's possible with consistent practice. Your body has incredible adaptive capacity, even after 60, and when you give it the right stimulus consistently, it will respond with improvements in posture, reduction in pain, increased mobility, and enhanced confidence. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This feels great right now, but will I remember to do this every day? This is where the Japanese concept of Kaizen that I mentioned at the beginning becomes so important. We're not asking you to make a massive lifestyle change. We're asking you to invest 7 minutes a day in yourself. Think about it this way. 7 minutes is less than half of 1% of your day. It's less time than you spend checking your phone in the morning. It's shorter than most television commercial breaks. But those 7 minutes, practiced consistently, can have a profound impact on your quality of life. Here's my challenge to you. Commit to doing this routine every day for the next 2 weeks. Not just when you remember, not just when you feel like it, but every single day. Set a specific time for it. Maybe it's first thing in the morning before you start your day. Maybe it's in the evening before dinner. Maybe it's during a commercial break of your favorite television show. The exact time doesn't matter. What matters is consistency. Why 2 weeks? Because research shows that it takes about 2 weeks of consistent practice for a new habit to begin feeling natural and automatic. After 2 weeks, this routine won't feel like something you have to remember to do. It will feel like a natural part of your day that you actually look forward to. And here's what I can promise you. If you do this routine every day for 2 weeks, people will start noticing. Your friends will comment that you look taller. Your family will say you seem more confident. Your healthcare providers will notice improvements in your posture. But most importantly, you'll feel the difference in how you move through the world. You'll find that you naturally stand taller while waiting in line at the grocery store. You'll notice that you're looking ahead instead of down when you walk. You'll discover that you can sit for longer periods without your back aching. You'll realize that you're breathing more deeply and easily throughout the day. These aren't just physical changes. They're changes that affect how you feel about yourself and how you engage with the world around you. Now, let me address some common concerns that people have when starting a routine like this. First, what if I miss a day? Life happens, and there will be days when you can't do the full 7-minute routine. That's okay. The key is not to let one missed day become 2 missed days. If you miss a day, just get back to it the next day without guilt or self-criticism. Second, what if I don't see immediate dramatic changes? Remember, postural change is a process, not an event. Some people see significant changes within a few days, while others take several weeks to notice major improvements. Trust the process and focus on consistency rather than dramatic results. Third, what if some of the exercises feel too challenging? Every single exercise in this routine can be modified. If standing is difficult, do everything seated. If reaching overhead is uncomfortable, reduce the range of motion. If balance is a concern, use a wall or chair for support. The key is to work within your current abilities while gently challenging yourself to improve. I also want to give you some guidance on how to track your progress, because improvements in posture can sometimes be subtle and gradual. Here are 3 simple ways to monitor your progress. First, do what I call the wall test once a week. Stand with your back against a wall and see how easily you can get your head, upper back, and glutes to touch the wall simultaneously. As your posture improves, this will become easier and more comfortable. Second, take a side view photo of yourself once a month, wearing the same clothes and with the same lighting conditions. When you look at these photos over time, you'll be amazed at the changes you can see in your spinal alignment and overall posture. Third, keep a simple daily log of how you feel. Rate your overall postural comfort on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being perfect comfort and alignment. Over time, you should see this number trending upward. But beyond these formal tracking methods, pay attention to the subtle changes in how you feel and function. Do you find yourself naturally standing taller? Are you looking ahead more when you walk? Do you feel more confident in social situations? Are you experiencing less back, neck, or shoulder pain? These functional improvements are often more meaningful than any formal measurement. Let me also share some tips for making this routine a sustainable part of your life. First, pick a consistent time and place to do it. Routine thrives on consistency of context. If you do it at the same time and in the same place each day, it will become automatic much more quickly. Second, prepare your space in advance. If you need a clear wall space, make sure it's available. If you use a chair for support, have it positioned and ready. Removing barriers makes it much easier to maintain consistency. Third, consider doing this routine with a spouse, friend, or family member. Having a practice partner creates accountability and makes the routine more enjoyable. You can encourage each other and celebrate your improvements together. Fourth, connect this routine to something you already do daily. Maybe you do it right after you brush your teeth in the morning or right before you watch the evening news. Linking new habits to established routines makes them much easier to maintain. As you continue practicing this routine, you may find that some parts become easier while others remain challenging. This is completely normal and expected. Focus your attention on the areas that are most difficult for you, as these are probably the areas where you need the most improvement. You may also find that your body craves more movement as your posture improves and you feel better. That's wonderful. This routine is not meant to be your only physical activity. It's meant to be the foundation that supports all your other movement. As your posture improves, you may find that other activities become easier and more enjoyable. I want to address one more important point: the psychological benefits of better posture. Research shows that how we hold our bodies affects how we feel about ourselves and how others perceive us. When you stand tall and move with confidence, you not only look better, but you actually feel more confident and capable. This is sometimes called embodied cognition, the idea that our physical posture influences our mental and emotional states. When you practice good posture consistently, you're not just improving your physical alignment, you're also cultivating confidence, presence, and vitality that radiates outward in all your interactions. Many of my clients report that improving their posture has had unexpected benefits in their social interactions, their professional relationships, and their overall sense of well-being. They feel more comfortable in their own skin, more confident in social situations, and more capable of taking on new challenges. As we conclude our time together today, I want you to carry this sense of possibility with you. Your body is remarkably adaptable, even after 60. The changes you feel right now are proof that improvement is not only possible, but inevitable when you apply the right approach consistently. Remember, every time you do this routine, you're making an investment in your future self. You're choosing to age actively rather than passively. You're deciding that your best days are not behind you, but ahead of you. You're demonstrating that taking care of yourself is a priority, not a luxury. The 7 minutes you've just spent are a gift to yourself, but they're also a gift to everyone in your life. When you feel better about yourself, when you move with less pain and more confidence, when you stand tall and proud, it positively affects everyone around you. Your friends and family benefit from your increased vitality and confidence. So, as you go about the rest of your day, carry with you this sense of height, openness, and alignment that we've cultivated together. Notice how different it feels to move through the world with better posture. Pay attention to how people respond to you differently when you carry yourself with confidence and grace. And remember, this is not about perfection. This is about progress. Every day that you practice this routine, you're moving closer to the best version of yourself. Every repetition matters. Every breath matters. Every moment of awareness matters. Tomorrow, when you do this routine again, you'll start from a slightly better place than you did today. And the day after that, you'll start from an even better place. This compound effect of small, consistent improvements is the essence of the Japanese concept of Kaizen, and it's the secret to sustainable, lasting change. Your posture is not just about how you look, it's about how you feel, how you function, and how you engage with the world. By improving your posture, you're reclaiming a sense of vitality and confidence that may have been dormant for years. I believe in your ability to transform your posture, and in doing so, transform how you experience life after 60. The routine you've just learned is a proven system that has helped thousands of people just like you stand taller, feel better, and move with greater confidence and ease. Your journey to better posture starts now. With the next 7 minutes, you choose to invest in yourself. I encourage you to make that choice not just tomorrow, but every day. Your future self will thank you for the investment you make today. Thank you for spending these 7 minutes with me, and I look forward to being part of your ongoing journey toward better posture, greater confidence, and improved quality of life. Remember, you are never too old to stand taller, and it's never too late to feel your best. Stand tall, breathe deep, and carry yourself with the confidence and grace that you deserve. Your best posture and your best life begins now. And if you found this routine helpful and want to continue improving your health and vitality, I invite you to watch my next video where I'll share 7 specific teas that you can drink before bed to naturally rebuild leg muscle strength and reduce nighttime cramps. Strong, comfortable legs are the foundation for the good posture we've been working on today. And these 7 teas provide natural compounds that support muscle health and recovery while you sleep. Click the link that's appearing now to discover these 7 remarkable teas and learn how they can complement the postural improvements you're making with today's routine. Together, better posture and stronger legs will help you move through life with greater confidence, comfort, and vitality. Until next time, keep standing tall and investing in your health. You're worth it, and your body will reward you for the care and attention you're giving it.